Hi guys, as I promised in last video, this one is going to be about tuning of the sail. It's interesting because it's not about downhole and outhole tension and button tension. It's more about recutting the sail, the slalom sail. I do it for many years and I'm involved in designing sails for over 20 years. But this is for brands, but privately I do it for myself just to enjoy windsurfing more and just to go faster and to have more efficient design of the sail. It's way easier than everybody thinks. It's actually quite inexpensive and quite fast to recut the sail. If you know how to do it, it helps a lot. So now, as you can see, you're looking at the sail and you can imagine the airflow going through the sail, and from when we are recutting or adjusting the sail, it's very important to imagine yourself as the wind. You have to imagine that you are traveling along the buttons, along the sail, and you have to arrange the design in the way that the wind will find the least obstacles on the way. It's a little bit like design with in the foil and the fin, that the slimmer the foil and the fin, the faster. The less imperfections, the faster. Of course, with water, the water is not compressing, so when you have a faulty fin or faulty foil, the penalty is very high because the water is not compressing, so the drag is increasing dramatically. With the sail design, it's not so bad because the air is compressing and decompressing, so if part of your sail is not working perfectly, it doesn't matter because the air moves away. You know, the air always avoids obstacles, but the idea is to make the sail as smooth as possible. First of all, it's very important to have a lot of skin tension. It means that it's important to have a lot of tension of the monofilm for the sail to be stable. This is important, and we achieve this by downholing the sail, and you have to downhole a lot. This is obvious, but the drawback from downholing the sail is that the top leech is opening and we have very loose leech, and the leech is flapping and it's not efficient. The bigger problem is that when you apply a lot of downhole tension, you get open top leech, loose leech, and this is fine, but the problem is that this openness creates a wrinkle, which is kind of a cross wrinkle across the panel, and from the wind's point of view, this wrinkle is an obstacle for the wind to avoid. So the wind is not going laminarly smoothly along the monofilm, but it has to pass the bump in the middle of the panel, and this bump is between every button on every panel, and this is a major obstacle for the wind to pass through, and it's also making the sail much slower. This actually lasts for last 15 or 20 years. This is still the same. Maybe some brands has eliminated this cross wrinkle a little bit better, some sail designers less, but on the example of Severn, the Severn is a very good sail. It's a very fast sail out of the back, but it could be faster. And what I do, and this is the secret part, which is quite interesting, what I do is I cancel the loose leech with, of course, a lot of downhole tension. This is how I approach it. And now you can see, guys, that my recut, because this sail is already recut, I use only recut sails, my recut makes the leech much tighter, and I will tell you how to do it in just a moment. When the leech is much tighter with a lot of downhole, first of all, the leech is not flapping, so we're not losing energy, but also it completely cancels the cross wrinkle between the buttons. This is very desired because this way the sail is still very stiff, but the top leech is not flapping, is not so loose. And you know, you could say that the same thing, you could say that you could achieve it without downholing the sail, then the leech wouldn't be opening here, but then the foil tension wouldn't be sufficient to deliver the power. So now, guys, you can see that when the wind comes, the sail is filled and I don't have these cross wrinkles here, the sail is very smooth, very clean, and this way the wind which is passing along the buttons doesn't have any obstacles to pass through, and the sail is much faster. And my sails after recuts are so much nicer to use, and not only in the top speed but also in early planing ability. These sails are planing much faster because I use also the top section for planing, and when you have really loose top leech, it's not working almost ever. So, as you can see, the sail is clean, the sail foil is clean, and now I'll tell you exactly how to do it so you can apply it to your sails and you can enjoy windsurfing much more. Generally in sail design, it's all about making a sail as smooth as possible with the least number of real wrinkles as possible. So this is the idea. And nowadays slalom sails are really, really wrinkled, and you know, we go fast but with those sails, but if we clean up the mess on the sail, they would be much faster. And I will give you a first tip that is very simple and very easy, and it's not really invasive into the sail. It's not risky, and it cleans up the sail a lot, because we will be opening just the button pockets, and these button pockets, they don't carry too much load. If we were to open the mast sleeve, this would be much more risky because mast sleeve is carrying a lot of load, and you know, stitching the mast sleeve once again, it's already bearing a risk because the sewing machine is making holes in the fabric, and therefore making the fabric weaker. So we're not talking about opening the mast sleeve because we don't want to risk anything. This will be a cosmetic surgery. Of course, you don't have to do it yourself. It needs to be done by your local sailmaker, but the fix is very easy and very simple. To cancel this flapping leech and to cancel this cross wrinkles that are from here to the other button across the panel, the fix is easy. Just get your sail to the sailmaker, ask him to open the buttons almost all the way to the mast sleeve, let's say 30 centimeters from the mast sleeve, and then pull in the material inside. It's kind of a triangle. Here you pull in about 2 centimeters, and there 0. So it's like a sharp triangle, and the sailmaker takes in the monofilm at the end of the button, and with a straight line coming to the point 30 centimeters from the sleeve, and then he puts back on it the button sleeve, the button pocket, and that's it. And you have to do it with every single button except the top one. Usually the top one you don't need. And this procedure works very well on Severn sails, on every Severn sails every year, because I do it every year. And it's really necessary if you are doing speed with GPS watch. This will improve your speeds by 2 to 3 kilometers per hour, which is a lot. And of course, the low end in low winds is also improving. And a lot of sail makers, when they design the sail, they change here, they take in, let's say 2, 3 millimeters, 5 millimeters and more, they're afraid. I must tell you that this is not the case with Severn. With Severn, you have to take in a lot. And I have markings here, how much I took from each button. So this is Mach 378. And from this button, here it's 10 millimeters. Here it's 20. No, here is 30 millimeters. So here is 1 centimeter. Here is 3 centimeters inside. Here is nothing. And here is 18 millimeters. So 18, nothing. 30, 10. This is a lot. This seems radical, but this is the only way to completely cancel the cross wrinkle and to have a sail very smooth. And as you can see now, this sail is fully downhauled, but it's very smooth. Here I still have little wrinkles, but when the mast bends, these wrinkles fill in, so it's not a problem. But here, going up, the sail is completely smooth. And this is changing so much, and it's helping so much with the windsurfing. What I noticed after such a modification, normally when you go on the slalom sail, when you enter the gust, you feel overpowered, and then when you exit the gust, you feel underpowered. So you have to adjust the outhole system all the time to compensate for the changes in the power. And this is, of course, difficult because you lose balance when you adjust the outhole system, and you lose speed. And this is especially not recommended for racing, because in racing you have to be focused on the racetrack and not adjusting the sail. So it's kind of annoying. And after I recut my sails, these sails are the range of a usable power is much wider. So when you enter the gust, the sail is not overpowering you, but when you exit the gust into the low, you don't feel like the sail is collapsing on you. So you have constant power throughout different wind strengths, and this is amazing. So the comfort of riding on the sail recut like that is so much nicer, and it's not only for free riding but also for racing. So try it, it's really worth it. If you have any questions about that, drop me a mail or write to me on Messenger or on WhatsApp, and I will help you with that. It's definitely worth it. And one important advice: when you have a good sail that you really like, keep it, don't sell it until you find a better one. Don't hope that the new model will be better than the old one, because sometimes it's not the case. And if you have really, really, really good gear, keep it and sell it only after you get a better one. This is important, because there is not a worse thing than getting rid of the great gear for a new one that is working not better. The Mach 3 7.8 is my favorite sail. It's such a nice sail. All right. I hope it's not too complicated for you. I strongly encourage you to try it. The payoff is great, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you on the water or next time on YouTube.